Welcome to an Azure Guide video where hands-on learning is priority one. I'm an Azure Administrator, Azure Security Engineer, as well as an Azure Solutions Architect. The challenge questions differ from the sample test questions, but the challenge questions are longer and the focus is on one of the CKAD 7 topics. This challenge question is on observability, which makes up 18% of the exam. CKAD challenge question 4, observability. Define a new pod with the image of Nginx and a YAML manifest. Expose the container on port 80. Do not create the pod yet. For the container, declare a startup probe of HTTP GET. Verify the root context endpoint can be called. Use the default config for the probe. For the container, declare a readiness probe of type HTTP GET. Verify the root context endpoint can be called. Wait 5 seconds before checking the first time. For the container, declare a liveness probe of type HTTP GET. Verify the root context. Wait 10 seconds for the first time, and then probe should run every 30 seconds. Create the pod and follow the lifecycle phases. Inspect the runtime details. Retrieve some metrics. Create a pod named custom CMD with image busybox. The container should run the following command with this flag. Inspect the status. How would you troubleshoot the pod to identify the root cause of the failure? Now this looks like a pretty good challenge. Good luck. Alright, looks like task 1 is define a new pod named web server. The image of Nginx and YAML manifest. Expose the container on port 80, but do not create the pod yet. So do a kubectl run. We're going to call it web server. Let's just call it web. And image equals Nginx. And we want to expose it on port 80. And we want it in a YAML manifest. And let's put it in, we'll call this challenge 4, exercise 1, YAML. Alright, pretty good. On to the next one. Okay, for the next part, we want to, for the container, declare a startup probe of type HTTP GET. And then use a default config for the probe. So opened up a browser window to our community's IO. I'm going to type config a pod, and that gives us, we want to, most of the time it will be, this will be the first response back, but occasionally the second one, as in this case. Click here, it gives you a nice list of many of the tasks you're going to be asked to do. So I'm going to say choose this one. I'm going to go down and look for an example of a startup probe. There it is. And basically want that. Startup probe, HTTP GET, and the root. So we want this right here. So we'll need to go into our editor here. And big I, get an insert mode. Come on down. I forgot what paste is. It's alright, we'll just start up probe. Looks like that's spelled right. We want HTTP get colon. I'm going to guess just a slash path and then a slash. Alright, I think that should do it. And use a default config. So yeah, we're good. Excellent. Okay, task number 3. For the container, declare a readiness probe of HTTP GET verified the root context endpoint can be called. Wait 5 seconds before checking for the first time. Alright, so let me bring up our YAML file. Alright, and we want to do another probe. So, insert mode. This time we want to do a readiness probe. RADINESS, probably a capital P. Let's go check our documentation for spelling. There's liveliness, we want readiness. There we go. I'm a terrible speller. READINESS probe. Very good. And we want HTTP get. I believe it's the same path. Yep. Verify the roots. And what else we want in there? Wait 5 seconds before checking the first time. That sounds like an initial delay seconds. And how long? 5. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I guess we'll move on to the next task, which looks like it's going to be a liveness probe. Okay, the next task for the container, declare a liveness probe of type HTTP GET. Verify the root context endpoint can be called. Wait 10 seconds before checking it the first time, and the probe should run every 30 seconds. All right. So we'll hit enter here, and now we want our good friend liveliness. LIVENESS probe and HTTP GET path. That's good. And yeah, this is incorrect here. That should be over 1, I believe. Yes. That was right. And then here we want initial delay again. This time we want to wait 10 seconds. And we want to check every 30 seconds after that. So PERIOD seconds 30. All right, so that's pretty good there. All right, next step's going to create the pod, so we'll go ahead and save this. Excellent. All right, our task here is create the pod and follow the life cycle phases of the pod during the process. So let's see if we have any errors in our YAML file. Oh, we got some liveness container unknown field initial delay seconds. So it doesn't like that. Probably a typo. INITIAL big D DELAY SECONDS. Should let it close to see which one's complaining about. Here we go. Probably complaining about this instance. Ooh. Oh. Bad. That was not in insert mode. And that was supposed to be 10 seconds. All right, let's try this again. Unknown field, invalid type, HTTP action got, string expected map. Then we get more errors, but let's see. And we got rid of that first one there. Validation pod, spec, readiness, invalid type, HTTP action get string expected. Missing field ports. Oh, let's go check it out. Here we got container port 80. Should be okay. Do I have to specify a port with HTTP GET? Let's see. I don't think so. Yes. Looks like you do. So path here. Insert. Should we go ahead and give it a name? Be a little more fancy. Let's go up to here. And we could say name. And we'll call it check port. And then we just put here where it says port, we'll put check port. And the same here. There we go. Let's try this again. We're in an unknown field port. I must not be thinking very well today. container port, name, check port. Let's just do liveness probe, HTTP get, that's correct. Path, that's right, HTTP gets. For a readiness probe, we need another error here. It should be like this. And it should be like that. Now I think we're cooking. Let's try it again. We're getting smaller. Readiness probe, unknown field path. Unknown field port. Readiness field unknown HTTP get. So they should be indented. How about now? Oh, holy cow. Okay, so it looks like we got it created. We could do cubes check pods, get pods, check. That's it's containing, it's creating it. We'll do a little watch. Oh, now it's running. Do a clear. Now we see it's running. But there we go. All right, that ends that one. Let's go on to the next task. Okay, now let's inspect the runtime details of the pod. So let's do a kubectl describe pod web. And you can see you get a lot of details here about liveness probes, readiness probe, and startup probe. And notice that readiness failed a few times, successes equals 1, as it was starting up. But everything looks pretty good there. All right. Next thing you want to do is retrieve the metrics of the pod from the metrics server. Okay, next we want to retrieve the metrics of the pod, CPU memory from the metrics server. So we could do a kubectl top. It's either pod, try pod web. And there we go. We got 1 M of CPU, 2 megs of memory, or we could also do top node, and you get the nodes that are using CPU and memory. So I have 3 nodes. You can see the master, worker 1, and worker 2. Well, that ends, doesn't end this challenge question, but does end this segment. So we have looks like two more questions to this challenge to answer. All right, so let's get to that. Okay, create a pod named custom CMD, image busybox. Sounds pretty good so far. Container should run the command top analyzer with command line flag all. Alright, so I'm going to clear my screen, get a nice fresh screen. kubectl run, and we're going to call it custom CMD running image equals to busybox, and we're going to do a bin. Actually, we're going to do a dry dash. We're going to write out to a YAML. This will be CH4. This is task number 8. So we'll do 8 YAML. And then we're going to do a bin /sh -c. And we want to run top analyzer with an all. Alright, I think I like that. Alright, let's check out our file. Alright, we got our name. Our arguments came in. Looks like that's good. Alright, I like it. So I'll just go ahead and quit. And we'll go ahead and try to create it. Alright, can we do a get pods here? Going back a bit. And you see our custom CMD is crashed, loop back off. So let's do a basic troubleshooting. kubectl get describe pod. I think I spelled that right. DESCRIP pod custom-cmd, and our image is successful. It's terminated, as we know. Alright, so why do you say, what should we check next? Anybody know? How about kubectl logs? Gotta get the name of the logs custom CMD. It looks like tap analyzer is not a valid command, so that we are set up there. So that's the problem. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed challenge question 4. And we'll have challenge question 5 coming out soon. Thanks for watching.